Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video on my channel. I'm XeroVoid, and today I'm going to be taking some inspiration from one of my subscribers that said that they wanted to see a full base tour of everything that I have. So yeah, I'm going to go get geared up briefly and then we'll be right back. Alright, there we go, and we're back. So the places that we're going to be checking out today is all of these. So my AFK home, bed, end, hub, jkillum, lol, mobs, mushroom, newbie, p, parrot, QR code, quarry, snow, test, and wither farm. We'll start off with AFK. So this is the first place that we're going to be checking out. It's a really big, it's a nicely sized island that I made all for my alt account, XeroVoid, so I've probably talked about a lot at this point, but I made it so that he could be in that little chamber right there, and he would load all of the farms nearby. So the skeleton grinder, which uses dogs, all of them recently despawned, but when he was down there he would load all 24 of these skeleton spawners, and then the dogs would naturally attack the skeletons, but the experience would drop because the dogs were seen as the player killing that mob. So if the dogs were killing it and the person was holding a looting 3 sword, then they would be getting the looting 3 drops. That experience wouldn't actually go away, so it would just pile up in that little chamber in the middle between that fence post and all the slabs, and it was like an XP bank where I could walk in there, and that's how I've gotten 575 levels. Continuing, I have some automatic melon farms here. I think that these are actually the first farms that I made in this area. I originally started thinking that I would have one big circular area and then multiple different silos all around, but plans changed. So continuing down, I have automatic honey farms, which consist of 56 beehives, so that's 14 in each of these, I think. 23, I don't know. I know it's 7 in each of these little rows. 7 in each of these rows, 3 bees in each one of those hives, and then these levers on the side to decide when the farm wants to be on and off, because it's off currently, but when it's on it uses a lot of bottles, like a lot of bottles. I had to craft multiple hundreds of thousands of bottles for this. Next we have an AFK gunpowder farm, which is also loaded when you have an account in there. Just like that. Wow, that was quick. And if you go down, the way that this farm works is creepers naturally spawn in the dark area because of all of that up there. And then the wither roses kill them, and their items fall into soul soil. Or soul sand, sorry. Soul soil is going to be in the 1.16 update. And so it falls into the soul sand, and soul sand is technically 1 pixel lower than all other blocks in the game, or all other blocks that you can place wither roses on. So you can see that creeper died. I'll wait for another one to demonstrate. Oh, here we go. So when the creeper dies, gunpowder drops, and then the gunpowder falls onto the soul sand, and there's a bunch of hoppers underneath that collect them all. And then we have some gunpowder. That isn't loaded when XeroVoid is in this spot, just like that. So that gunpowder farm isn't loaded up there, but all of these are full of gunpowder, and I feel like that's enough for a little while. This is the newest expansion to this island, and it's my AFK pig grinder. I don't want to show too much on this because this is a custom design that I came up with myself. I took inspiration from others, but we can see if XeroVoid breaks that string, the entire farm will shut off. I can show you a little bit of the inside of this, but that uses some wireless redstone tech that I've been using for a while. A lot of redstone. You can try to pause it and see what all of this does, but I've tried to keep most of it hidden. Might make a video on that more in depth in the future, but for now we're just going to leave XeroVoid down here and continue our adventure around the island. And just like that, we're right back outside. So this is the only really textured build that I've done here. I had plans for a collection system down there, which have been recently, I gave up on it, but we'll leave this for another day. It's just a nice, very, very detailed build that I don't remember who I took inspiration from on it, but it was someone that was a very, very good builder. Inside's nice and detailed. This house doesn't serve very much purpose except for being seen as that account actually being a person and having a little house. Next we have a AFK bone meal farm. I've been on a quest for the last couple years trying to figure out how to automate bone meal, not just bones, which you can easily do with that skeleton grinder over there, but bone meal. So foxes harvest the berries get picked up by the minecart, gets all funneled into this composter, and then bone meal comes out the bottom. Pretty simple farm. I have more ideas on that stuff later. Next we have my quad villager breeder. The mechanics aren't working as I'd like them to right now, but there are still villagers down here. I have a honey trap so that if any zombies try to get in, they can't actually jump because honey blocks don't allow mobs to jump more than a block off them. But I can fly, so I can make it in here. Same honey trap idea in here so that the villagers can't get out. Makes it much easier to work with them. And we have 11 here. I think that if we had one more, then they would actually start stacking, so that it would be one villager x 12, which means that there's 12 villagers inside of one. It sounds really weird, but it's a plugin that the server has to reduce lag. Next, we can come over here to my sugarcane farm, which I've actually finished since the last video. It's just a really deep hole. All of these AFK, or not AFK, but no, AFK sugarcane farms, as long as they're loaded and a character is nearby in the area, so XeroVoid right there, it'll load this entire farm. All the sugarcane, when it gets harvested, or when it grows 3 high, the observer detects it, lights up some redstone behind that's right above the pistons, and then the pistons push all of the sugarcane off down into that little water stream. That water stream then flows into that central point. Oh, here we go. Yeah, sometimes it falls into those other parts. I might want to update this farm so that it doesn't do that. But all falls down into that little center part. Water pushes it around through some streams underground, right up into here. Pops up. Perfect demonstration. Bubble columns using water blocks, water source blocks, and soul sand push it up to the top into that hopper. And then this is a challenge that I'll leave to my viewers. How do I change sugarcane into flowers? I'll leave that for you guys to try to figure out in the comments below. Next, we come to my not so official villager area, but this is the most official place that I have for villagers right now. This was the first addition that I added to this area, just one farm. I don't know, I think that the farmer's right there. Yeah, farmer's right there, 2 villagers. It's an automatic villager breeder. They then get pushed into this area via a water tunnel. Yeah, they drop down, flow through here, back up, and then they grow into adults. And then this is where I name tag them, take them into another area that's underground, decide what their jobs are, and then bring them into this place, which was... Villagers are currently broken on this server, where they don't restock for some reason. But I did manage... They also won't take jobs, so this guy just got lectern for some reason as a workstation. So this entire area has 36 stalls, 36 stalls, 9 on each row, and then the 2 on the ends. I'm pretty sure there's either 36 or 35 different enchantment books in the game currently. In the next update, they'll be adding soul speed, and I think there might be one other, but you can't get those through villagers. So I think I might have messed up. So I put a paper for emeralds guy here, same as over there. and I just wanted to have every single enchanted book over here for the price of an emerald, just like this, and they won't restock it. Their restock timing is randomized, but as you can see, it's working. It's working pretty well for mending at least, and all the other ones are slowly ticking in. And then here, I'm sure a bunch of people have been curious about what's going to be in the. I have the 3 beacons. Each one of these is actually going to be an individual prize. And then we have shulker boxes that have. You can pause the video if you want to read all of these enchants, but the armor's really good. You can keep the shulker box, an elytra. I might add unbreaking to these. And then the third one I just need to gather the materials for, because I recently had a friend get hacked, and I had to give him, or I wanted to give him all this stuff so that he could restart easily. So just to re-emphasize this, we have 3 beacons, 1 like per person, per entry. And I haven't decided yet if I want to scratch off people's names. I think that I will once I've picked them out of the hat. And then a shulker box full of iron blocks. I'm pretty sure that this concludes. Oh, never mind. I forgot about that guy. This is the final thing that we're going to be checking out at this island, because I think I've already shown that iron farm. We'll just go with it. This is a quad. It's a quad chunk version of the single version that Il Mango made. I'll try to remember to link his video in the description. But I took one of these, went into a creative world, built 3 more, and then just rebuilt it on this server. And then there's a central off switch over here that turns the entire farm off. This is the AFK box that you usually stand in to get the best rates, because the server here is a little bit different. And it works fairly well. I've cleared out all the items recently, so that's why there's nothing else in there. But the way it works is there's all these spawning platforms that are always held in darkness for all of the spots to be possible for mobs to spawn. And each one of the layers alternates with water, and then a redstone clock up at the top will cycle through. Here you go. It cycles through so that all the water swaps through all the layers. Usually all the mobs, if there were any, would get pushed off, fall down, and land on the magma, and then this would flush all their items into those holes, and then the holes, using ice paths, push all of the items, plus a little bit of me tinkering with all 4 so that they would all push to one central area, but it pushes all the items to that central hopper. I'm pretty sure this will be it for this island, because that iron farm behind me is not currently working. So we'll head on to the next home. I'm sure this place looks fairly familiar, because this is where I record the majority of my videos so far, intros and outros. Yeah, so the idea with this base is that I started it about 6 months ago. All of the stuff that I'm showing you today has been from within the last 8 months, I want to say. So this was probably made about 8 months ago. You can see that on this map there are little roads that were connected to a village that was in the center here. That point is exactly where we are, but that gray box looking thing is really high up in the sky, and we'll go to that next. And so I built this massive circle, not perfect obviously, because there's those little corners, I guess you could say, of the circle. Back then I didn't know how to design circles as well as I do now. But all of this blue is blue stained glass that I have covering a city, I guess you could say. So that's what that is. And then this is the AFK island that we started the video at. That big gray thing is the Il Mango farm that I had. That's the dome. That's the iron farm and melon farms, and where XeroVoid AFKs. That's the what's it called? Villager breeder. And then that is the house. That shipwreck isn't there anymore. I should probably update that map. And then these black lines I want to emphasize, because I'll be going back to those later. That's a certain form of transportation that I figured out how to do in the server. We'll go to the Sand Temple next, which is a custom biome that I'm working on. Over here is another custom biome that I'm working on that will soon be the home of my third account that hopefully I'll be getting soon. And then over here we have the quarry, much better circle by the way, that I've been working on. And we'll be going over there later. And then this is Chaos Blast Cat's base, who I hope to work with in future videos, and I'll link him in the description. But we're going to explore this city fairly briefly, and then we'll be going to the next home. So this city I started because I wanted to move all of my items into one central area. Now I have all those items in the central area. Much more helpful having all of my items in shulker boxes. Makes it really easy if I want to move again. And the basic idea was that I'm going to have these buildings that I'm very proud of building, and these blocks where there's diamond blocks, each one of these buildings would have a different block in place of the diamonds to show what that building is for. So the Hall of the Allied. I don't work on this area very much, the entire city as a whole, but I do plan to have this be a building similar to this one, not with a glass floor obviously, but a bunch of pedestals with armor stands and the head of people that I'm good friends with on the server. This is a trading hall that I hope to move these villagers that I still have from when I took apart that village. I think it's about 6, but you can't see them because they're all crammed in there so much. You can kind of see that there's a lot of them. And then we have the Museum of Artifacts. This is just spoilers. This is how you can get any death message that you want in chat, as long as you have a piece of armor or an armor stand that has thorns on all of the armor, and then you just name tag the armor stand. It will show that death message in chat, such as, I'm pretty sure it's XeroVoid died trying to hurt, and then those underscores is what the name tag is. So here it would be iReacts. I think that is the basic idea of this city, and then there's a little bit more underground that I can show you. This big map is another project that I started when I first was here. I got here very briefly after they disabled elytras for some time on the server, and the entire map floor without the use of elytras. I did it with /speed10, which is a command that you can use on this server if you're at a high enough rank, that just makes your speed so that you can run this fast without speed potions or beacons. Those beacons just give me haste, because I like mining a lot. And I had something to show on this map. Oh, it was down here. I mined out this big area because I wanted to eventually make it look much more lush, and like there's an underground part to the city. And then I wanted to have little mine shafts that go into my quarry that I have down here. I'll be putting out a video, I think today or tomorrow, as well as this one, showing how you can get your video settings to look this bright, as mine always do, and I don't have the night vision effect. So this is just a nice, very big quarry. I'm pretty sure that when I first started mining it, this was the size that my claim was, but it's much bigger now. And then these scaffolding blocks just go down to bedrock, and then I have tunnels going that direction and that direction all the way to the end of what that map was. I think this is a good place to stop at this base, and the next one that we're going to be going to is that desert biome from earlier. So the way that we're going to be getting there is by using this command, because this brings me to this place. This is a sky view of the city. So those are all the beacons that you saw before. That's the city. That big building in the center is where I have all of my items, and that's also where the map is. So from up here, I wanted to have a big sky subway system, almost. Also, you need Depth Strider 3 on your boots to achieve this speed. And so this is currently the fastest mode of transportation that I've found without using redstone on the server. So what you have is a conduit down there, so you can get conduit power. I personally can use speed 10 because I have the Fox King rank, which gives you the advantage to use that. Some other people can, but even without, speed 1 is what the average speed is of a player. I'll just use this to show how fast it goes, and then a dolphin up there. So Dolphin's Grace plus Depth Strider 3 and the conduit so that we don't drown can achieve this speed. And these dolphins are spaced 64 blocks apart, so that while you're going you don't lose the effect. So this is really, really fast, and I think definitely worth it if you don't have all of the homes available to you. And right now we are on one of those black pipes that I showed you on the map earlier. I'll just be going to speed 10 to save us a little bit of time. Speed 10, much more efficient. And here we are. This is the end of that tunnel, and this is a sky view of the island that we started the video at. So that's all the iron farm, that's the big dome, that's the center circle area that I have all the farms that work with the XeroVoid. And then these big red barriers that seem to go around my claims are actually the borders of my claims, because I like having a visual border of, hey, when am I going to go outside of my claim? So if I were to fly right here, oh, nope, it worked. Yeah, so if I go outside of those, then I'll start falling. You can see this pipe going back, and then there's a new intersection over there, or junction, that I've made so that I can, that junction leads to the desert biome that I was talking about briefly. There we go. Very, very fast. I think if you angle your camera at the right direction, you can keep speeding up for a good amount of time. So this part I don't have dolphins on yet, because you can imagine it's hard to move a dolphin all the way up here, and the way that they survive, because dolphins need both access to air and water, or else they'll suffocate from lack of the other one. So if you put them on a slab that is waterlogged, their hitbox is in the perfect location so that they can get both air and water at the same time. And then just a glowstone block to signify where that is, and also so that nothing spawns up here. Nothing can spawn, but if I were to put blocks, it would be around these pipes. Next is onto here. I built this pipe fairly recently compared to the other ones. I have put in all the conduits so that you don't drown, but I haven't moved in the dolphin yet, so it's much, much more slow going. I think I have moved in one dolphin up here. Yeah, there we go. This will send us to the end where I have just a trapdoor that drops you at the bottom. And here we come to, this is, oh, okay, apparently Home Desert is one of the homes that I thought that I wouldn't need for a little while. This is a custom biome project that is going to take me a lot of time, but I'm doing it for now. The way that you can achieve this almost post-apocalyptic look is by, if you find a desert and you mine out all of the sand and the sandstone, and it'll leave you with this naturally generated look. I really enjoy it. I hope to mine all of this area and then someday use it for some sort of project, but for now that'll be a future project. Now we can hop over to, why not go to J-Killam? So now we are at the base, an AFK base of a teammate that I have. He actually gave me the idea for the base tours. Actually, no, he gave me an idea for one of my videos. I don't remember which one, but that's his username. This entire place is his, and he has had this base for a very long time, where iron farms looked like this, where you had a bunch of villagers in each of these sections, a bunch of doors, and iron golems would spawn in there. And he had it so that it would push them all the way down this hallway, down into here, and then it used to push them into a centralized killing chamber, but he doesn't need that anymore because that's not what they look like. So in combination with the time that he has had this place, he has a bunch of different farms. He has a miniature gold farm, a stone farm over here, an iron farm that's not currently working because all iron farms on the server aren't working. In here, because he built it around a sea temple or an ocean monument, he can have prismarine shards, crystals, raw cooked fish, ink sacs. All of those get farmed here naturally because of the spawn mechanics. I couldn't tell you too much about that because I've never focused on that as much. And then he has some bee farms in here so that he can breed bees. He's actually funded me with a very good chunk of the bees that I used in that farm shown previously. And then a slime farm over here, because right here is technically a slime chunk, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. That's all of the area that I can show in here for now. We'll hop on to the next set home right now. This is definitely one of my most treasured projects that I currently have going. It's a quarry that I have. This is the big circle that I showed you when I was in my base at the map wall. And so my plan is that I'm going to dig all of the circle all the way down to bedrock. So I've done this much so far. Oh. And hopefully I can do more. I've done all of that by hand so far. Really, really crazy, but it does get my mining levels up. And I've been trying to keep all of my resources here as well. Collecting all the resources, putting them into shulker boxes back at my base. And then these are all the ores that I've collected. I've always liked ores on the server, as you can see, because of all the diamond ore that I've kept. Because you can't buy diamond armor, not diamond armor, diamond armor, oh my goodness. You can't buy diamond ore from /shop. You can just buy plain diamonds, but you can't buy the ore. So I've always found it to be very, very rare and almost prestigious in a way. Just wanted to show this place because I'm very proud of all of the work that I've done down at the bottom. And we're going to hop onto our second to last place that we're going to adventure. This is definitely a big change from the last place that we were at, but this is a custom biome that I have an idea for that it's currently definitely a work in progress. It was that very big white island that I showed you at the beginning when I was showing you the big map floor that I had. My idea for this biome is that I'm going to cover it all in snow. It's a desert currently. I'm going to cover all of that in snow and then all of that in white stained glass because it'll make it feel like a heaven biome almost. And everything will be spawn proof, and I possibly might be doing a time-lapse mega build here soon in the future for my alt account, as I haven't figured out where I want to have that alt account stationed from. I think that what I said in my last clip was a tiny bit of a lie because I don't want to show the final home that I have in worry of the person who owns it being upset. No worries on that though, because I think that this is a perfect place to end the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you guys are all staying safe from this whole coronavirus thing. I definitely thought that it was a joke in the very beginning, that not a lot of people were going to get it, and it wasn't going to spread that fast, but I really do want to emphasize and help reinforce the idea that it is a safe thing to stay inside and social distance, as a lot of people are affected by this, and you can think that you're immune for as long as you want to, but I personally think that everyone will get this virus eventually, and just stay safe. I think that a lot of people will make it through this, and to the people who are having more trouble with it, I hope that things get better. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I hope to see you more in the future. Hey guys, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video all the way through. I'm sorry for all of the little mistakes that happened in this video, but I'm very new to YouTube still, and I hope that you guys are enjoying my content so far. Please do comment in the description what you think I should make videos on in the future, because there's a really good chance I'll listen to them.